So this is the BAFTA tea party. How do you teach your tea? Do you like tea?
I love tea. It's the only caffeinated beverage I drink. I don't like coffee at all, and I take it with milk, full fat milk, no sugar. I used to have sugar, but I've slowly weaned myself off of it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, same. And that's interesting too, because I also don't like coffee, and I don't know many people who are like that.
Ugh, it's not good coffee. It's aggressive. It doesn't taste good.
Are you currently in LA?
I wish I was in LA. I'm in Vancouver.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
my husband's shooting something here, and they have a long quarantine period, so I came with him to keep him company.
do you miss movie theaters?
I do miss movie theaters. Yeah, I think, we're incredibly lucky that we live in a time where streaming is so accessible and we can see great movies at home. But for me, I find it difficult to concentrate watching a movie on my laptop. There's too many distractions. Where if I'm in a movie theater, I'm committed to the experience. I don't check my phone. I don't even get up to pee usually. You feel like you're going to miss something if you leave
Yeah.
the movie theater to pee. Whereas at home, you can pause it. And I just think it's not as a fulfilling experience for me watching movies at home.
I know, yeah, that's why I miss them as well, because you're forced to watch it. It's almost like I feel guilty watching it at home or something. 'Cause there's so many distractions.
100%.
And then
You
I'm
feel
like,
guilty.
should I have cleaned first? Maybe I should have cleaned before.
Yeah, is there something else I should be doing right now than watching this
Yeah.
movie if I'm at home?
Do you have any mentors in your career?
Yes, I have had some mentors. I've been quite lucky in that respect. One of my first acting gigs professionally was a film called Storm Damage, and a lot of the older actors on that were like huge sources of inspiration and mentors for me, particularly Lenny James, who wrote the piece, and Adrian Lester, who co-starred in it. Adrian in particular, I would send him emails afterwards to talk to him about drama school. And I was, I think, 16 when I shot that. And I didn't go to drama school until I was 21. So he suffered for a few years of emails in that respect. And then in graduating drama school, we're assigned a buddy at RADA, a RADA buddy. And my RADA buddy was an actress called Miriam Carlin, who now has sadly passed away. But she was just, fantastic. Like, was always there to speak to me if I had any issues going into a job or if I wanted any advice. Yeah, I miss her dearly. She was great.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I did see you in Rada. That's so. How young did you start into acting? I know.
I have always had an interest in it. I was always like a kid who loved performing for like my parents and my family, really, really young. And I did dance lessons probably from like the age of 6 or 7, and quickly stopped them because when I say quickly, I did them for a couple of years. I realized I wasn't very good at them, but I still wanted to perform, and I didn't really know what shape that would take until I was around. It sounds like I'm really old, but I'm not. Until I was like 10 or 11, and then I kind of honed in on acting, which isn't that much difference from 6 or 7, but it felt like it at the time. And I would go to local drama classes. And then eventually I went to a performing arts school called the Brit School in England, which is a free performing arts school. It's a really like magical place, really wonderful place. And I went there from the ages of 14 to 18.
That's really cool. I
Yeah,
know
I love that.
with County Lines, I think you spoke a little bit about how it was a little bit similar to your upbringing. I don't know if that's true.
No,
Or
that's true. I spoke about how, yeah, I recognize that world. I grew up on a council estate in southeast London, um, and the world of like drugs is sadly not unfamiliar to me. Lots of people I grew up with were in that world, in that industry, and just aside from the drug aspect, the living in that flat for County Lines, or shooting in that flat for County Lines, it really reminded me of the place I grew up in. Like the council features are the same. They're like kind of a standard way of building things, I guess, in the council. So like the door handles look the same, the ceiling look the same, the light fixtures look the same. And it was really overwhelmingly nostalgic for me.
is there a way you balance that? I guess I'm wondering if it's something, if you get too far into the character, if it becomes like bad for your mental health or something.
I think it's a case by case basis. It depends on the project you're working on and the time commit you have to it. With County Lines, it was a 22-day shoot, I think, maybe a little longer, and they were really full packed days when I was at work, and so I found it beneficial to just stay in that mindset and kind of live in that. I wasn't doing anything else outside of work. I didn't have time to. I would get up in the morning, I would go to work, and when I'd come home at night, for the first week and a bit, I was staying at a friend's house, and she was commenting the other day that she remembered I would come home and I wouldn't really speak to anyone. I'd kind of go in my room immediately, get my lines out, look over what I had to do the next day, listen to the music that I had kind of given myself to get myself into character, go to bed and start the whole thing over again. And on set as well, I would often keep my headphones in so that I could kind of stay in my own little insulated Tony County Lines bubble.
Wow, that's amazing. But congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, we were just before the meeting, I was talking to one of the BAFTA members about cats and stuff, and I saw photos of your sweet little Oscar.
Oh yeah, that's my love. He passed away in September of last year. 2020 was the worst year for everybody, including my cat Oscar. Yeah, he passed away, but we still speak about him every day. There's not a day that goes by that my husband and I don't speak about that cat, because I had him for 13 years. He was my baby.
Oh wow, you took really good care of him.
I love him so much. Like, he's my screensaver.
Oh, this is so sweet. I wanted to show him. It's not gonna come. But
have you got a cat too?
I do. I was trying to get her to. She was jumping on the table until we started this interview.
Of course, they never do what you want them to do.
No, but I got her recently. Yeah, just as a rescue, and they're just really fun, really sweet little cats. And I love Oscar too. You being an actress, having a cat named Oscar is so funny.
I know. Everyone thought it was because of the Oscars. What have you called your cat?
Her name is Hope. Which is kind of a boring name.
That's a nice name.
What else are you going to do in Vancouver while you're in Vancouver?
Well, we're only 5 days into our quarantine. We have to do 14. So when I'm finally out of quarantine, I'm just looking forward to being able to be outside and do things. At least here, I think like restaurants are open here. There's a bit more freedom in life here than there is in Los Angeles. But I hear like LA is slowly opening, right?
You know, they've opened everything up already, I think it's pretty much all open. I don't know if the cases have gone down, but I think it's all open. Maybe gyms and pools and stuff aren't open, but restaurants, hair salons.
I want life back to normal so badly.
It's open already here. It was so good talking to you, though.
You too. Have a good rest of the day, Heather.
Thank you so much.